locals eat this up, baby. Trust me, use some Arabic. Hello, beautifuls. My name is Giselle, co-host of the Strong Sunflowers podcast and founder of GS for Growth. And today I wanted to let you guys know what you need to know before traveling to Egypt. So if that's something that you are interested in, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and keep watching. So I actually made a list while I was at the airport coming back home. So I'm just gonna go right off this list because this list has more memory than me. One thing you need to know, even though there's some bad reviews out there about Egypt, Egypt was an amazing country and the people are so kind and generous. So that's one thing I want to put out there because I know I've seen a lot of videos bashing Egypt, and I truly had an amazing time and I truly felt loved and taken care of. Okay, so you've gotten to Egypt. What now? First of all, they're gonna have you get a visa. You can only pay cash, so make sure that you have cash for that once you land. And once you go out into the outside, make sure you have a ride all set. I talked about this in another video. Make sure that you go with a tour guide. It just makes things so much easier because everything's already booked and settled for you. You have your own personal driver. They come pick you up at the airport. You don't have to hassle with anything. If you're going down the airport and someone's trying to help you with your bags, say no, baby. Say no. Because guess what? They're gonna want a tip. One thing that I've learned about Egyptians, baby, they're always gonna want a tip, okay? Like even if you're at the pyramids, even if you're at like the temples and they're like, oh, you want a picture? Like the workers there, baby, if they take a picture of you, they're gonna expect a tip. That's reminding me of like the Proud family. They're like, girl, where's my money? So make sure that if you are willing to ask for help like that you're willing to tip, because some things the Egyptians don't do for free, baby. They don't. And speaking of tips, most people in Egypt make about $200 a month, which in Egyptian pounds is about 6,200 pounds. One thing also that I learned while I was there, I brought a lot of ones because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna tip in ones. No, the Egyptians don't want ones, baby. They want either pounds or bigger bills, just because their banks don't like dollar bills for some reason. So it's hard for them to exchange. So a lot of them were trying to give me ones and then me give them bigger bills. I work in the service industry as a server, and I make sure that I know the tipping customs in whichever country I go to. So when I went over there, so far I'm accustomed to giving like 10%. Like if I go to Europe, 10%, because that's what they're accustomed to, depending where I go. And again, if you're going to a third world country, our money goes further. So like giving a $2 tip for a less than $10 service, like it's fine. It's just $2, you know, the people needed more than you. But I asked my friend Monica, she went on a private tour to Cairo to go see the pyramids and stuff with her husband last year. She was like, oh yeah, we left a $40 tip. So when I went, I also lived like $30 for the girl that took me on the ride and then $10 to my driver. And I was like, when I was asking, I was like, what the hell? Hey, Monica, like, I don't even know why I listen to your ass. You always wrong, girl. I'm so sick and tired of you. When I talk to other people, they're like, $10 is an amazing tip. You know, tipping your driver, especially if they're with you like all day, or if like they take you to all your excursions, $10, $5 for your excursions, that is amazing. More than plenty. Even though having money, again, when you go to a third world country, you feel rich. So I love being able to give. So even though having money and being able to give it to others, it's an amazing thing because you are literally making their day. You know, I remember they were so thankful. They were like, oh my gosh, like because they were with me 2 days. So I tipped them again on the second day. So they were just so thankful because that's not the norm. And again, it's a blessing to be able to do that for others. But baby, I'm also on a budget. So like, also knowing for myself, I couldn't do that every time. So knowing what the tipping is, it's good because when you want to be generous, you can. And when you don't, baby, you just give what you need to give. Not $1 more, not $1 less. So here are some tips. So if your driver is driving like short distances, I would say 50 pounds. So I believe the pound right now, when I went into 2023, 32 or 33, depending on who you convert with. is $1. So 33 pounds is $1. So if your driver's taking you short distances, I would tip them like 50 pounds. If they took you in like a 2-hour long thing to drop you off, I would tip them 200 pounds. That's how I was doing it. Yeah, I would tip them like 100 to 200. And if I was going on an all-day excursion, because some of them have like food included and they stay with you for like 12 hours and all that stuff, I would tip them like $5 to $10, which converting to pounds would be like 300 pounds. I also stayed in an all-inclusive resort. So, like again, all-inclusive resorts, it's up to you, like, because a lot of the times it's already included in the price that you're paying. But again, these people are working and they deserve money too, you know, more money because they put in the work. So I was tipping about like $10 to $15 every 3 days. And they had like this little like box where you can put the money in, because they also had live shows and all these things. So that was just me. Again, you don't have to tip an all-inclusive, but you know, the money's gonna come back to you like twice as much. Another tip I have for you guys is how to not get bamboozled. Okay, Egypt is a place where bargaining is happening all the time. You can bargain anything, okay? You can bargain about anything, you know, never pay full price. For example, I hate bargaining. I hate having to be like, oh, 10. Oh no, I'll give you 8. Oh no, 13. Like, I hate that. I just want a price and pay it and keep it moving. Again, that's the culture that we are in America. But when you go over there, baby, they will put the price as high as they can. And baby, most people will pay it, especially Americans, because we're not used to bargaining, right? So my other tip to you is make sure that you're bargaining. Make sure that you're like, when you hear that $30 for this, just sometimes even throw out a number like 10, 15. Trust me, like it's not even worth $30. And I got bamboozled because I got this dress and I paid $30 for it. And at the same time, I was like, you know what? Like, if we can pay $30 for a Shein Fashion Nova shirt, I can pay $30 for this man or woman to feed his family, you know? That's how I took it. I got to bless somebody. I got bamboozled. It is what it is. I bet you it won't happen again because I don't buy a lot of things. So it only happened once and I only bought one thing in my whole trip. Other people love to buy stuff. So make sure that you are bargaining. If you are not sure, like, the price of things, make sure that you talk to your tour guide, you know, make sure that you ask them like, hey, how much does this really cost? And sometimes they'll give you the truth, and other times they'll still give you like a lower number. Like my tour, when I was buying my dress, the tour guide said like, you can always bargain. And I was like, I just hate bargaining, so it's fine. But you know, listen to your locals. The locals know what's up. Another tip I have for you guys is never pay in euros, okay? They put the euro, they use it the same as $1. This is in one of my Hurghada videos. If you haven't checked it out, go see it. I talk about when I went to Orange Bay. They were taking euros and they were taking dollars. They put everything in the same. So if something is $10, they'll say it's 10 euros. Baby, I've been to Europe, okay? Even before going to Egypt, I had a layover in Paris and I exchanged $60 for euros. Baby, they only gave me like $35 back. $35 back. That's like 50%, baby. It's giving it's giving poor. It's giving, oh my gosh. Like the euro is worth so much more than the dollar. Okay, so make sure that you're not paying in euros, baby, because now they got you twice. You got twice. And the last tip I have for you guys is if they're not willing to cooperate in the price that you're saying, be willing to walk away, baby, because 9 out of 10, they'll be like, okay, fine. Just give me whatever you got. Just give me whatever you got. Next topic, best way to travel through Egypt. Like I told you guys before, I did a travel tour guide. So all my rides, all my excursions, all those things were already taken care of, which I loved. Again, it was my second really solo trip. So I just wanted to make sure that transportation wasn't an issue, because I had seen videos on TikTok of people saying that like it was a little iffy. So if you can, make sure that you go on a tour guide with a tour guide that already provides all your rides for everything. And if you need to go somewhere on your own, go through Uber. Egypt does have Uber, so it's just like a fixed rate and they drop you off. Again, you don't have to bargain. Like, I hate bargaining. And I seen some videos of that where people took like a taxi from an Egyptian taxi, and then the guy told them it was gonna be something, and then when they got there, it was something else, and then he wouldn't let him get out of the taxi cab if they wouldn't give them the money. To avoid all of that, just go Uber and get yourself a personal driver. Get yourself a driver and call it a day. Because a taxi scam, or just to be in a situation like that, it's not worth your trip. You're trying to relax and enjoy like being on vacation. So do that. One of the biggest questions, which I just made a video of this, did I feel safe as a Black woman in Egypt? Drum roll, please. Yes, I did. Everybody was so nice. Everybody was so kind. I felt safe. Again, I was with a tour guide the whole time, so I was just walking around on my own, and I did learn a little bit of Arabic so I can defend myself, like la'a, no thank you, no thank you, halas, stop it. So they didn't see me so much as like, oh my gosh, an American in Egypt. No, like, baby, we know some words. We know some Arabic. Yeah, but I never really felt uncomfortable. I know I've seen videos of people saying otherwise, but I felt safe the whole time. But yeah, I would walk into town and like the people like selling things would be like, Shakira, Shakira. Especially if you go to where they sell like the clothes and things, and they would be like, Shakira, Shakira, calling me Shakira, baby. Maybe if you call me like Beyonce or something, but do I look like Shakira? Like, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. I'm a bad little, and I'm shaped like a Barbie. Hips, lips. Come on, Beyonce, not Shakira. Come on, this chocolate skin. But again, they'll do anything to get your attention. But did I feel unsafe? No. Sometimes also they're like, come into my shop, come into my shop. I've also seen one of those that someone went into someone's shop and then they wouldn't let them leave unless they gave them like bought something. So again, just don't put yourself in situations like that. I wasn't in it, but you know, like if you know that you don't want to buy anything, some people don't have the guts to just be like, halas, stop it. Like, no, la'a. Shukran, thank you. Still very respectfully, but keep them pushing, baby. Just keep walking, ignore them. And I know it's hard because we want to be polite, but baby, that's the most polite thing to do. That's what the locals told me to do. Ignore the shit out of them. So, you're probably thinking, I'm going to Egypt, what the hell do I pack? What the hell do I wear? Okay, one thing I totally forgot was an adapter, okay? Don't be me. Don't be me, because I had to find one when I went on a Nile cruise. Make sure when you're traveling any country, bring an adapter. But again, Egypt is a Muslim country, so what to wear? I was skeptical too, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to a Muslim country, like everybody's all covered up. There's different levels to this, baby. So I would say depending on what city you go to. If you go to Cairo, I feel like Cairo is more old school. There's old Cairo and there's new Cairo. And a lot of them are wearing their hijabs and a lot of them are covered up. Even the people that are not wearing hijabs, they always cover their hair. So I would say out of respect, I didn't bring any shorts because again, showing your ass is not the way to go, baby, if you want to respect the culture. I tried to also bring shirts that covered my shoulders for the most part. I did wear this, but I would wear it with like a little shawl over it covering my shoulders, because a lot of the places and temples that you want to go to, your shoulder, or mosques even, your shoulders have to be covered. So I wore pants. Pants was fine. And I tried to bring a lot of dresses, you know, get into my feminine energy. But besides that, I didn't stress too much about like what I was wearing and what was Muslim approved and what was not. Just again, keep that in mind. Cover your shoulders. Don't wear short shirts. Don't have your ass hanging out. Don't wear like super tight clothes. I brought jeans and I was fine. But again, this is Cairo. I wore like all of my more conservative things in Cairo. Bikini wise, baby, I will always be a Brazilian girl, okay? I will be wearing Brazilian till the day I die, okay? So I went to Hurghada, so that's Red Sea. And Hurghada is more like a beach town. It's more like a tourist town, you know? So the rules are not as heavy. So I wore my Brazilian bikini and no one said a thing, okay? There were all the places for the most part there were hotels, and everybody was foreign from Europe. Everybody was wearing a bikini, not so much like one pieces like you would think, you know? So when it comes to that, it was fine. I was wearing my Brazilian bikini. My ass was out. In Hurghada, my ass was out. I'll put a little bit of pictures in here so you kind of know like what I was wearing. I also made a lot of videos and vlogs while I was in Egypt, so go check out those videos so you can see like what I was wearing, what the vibe was, because it was amazing and I didn't have any problems with my attire or got any like weird like vibes from people. Just keep in mind that the weather is hot, baby. That's why I brought a lot of dresses, because even though yes, pants, like baby, it's Egypt, you're in the desert, it's hot as hell, like pants are hot. So a lot of dresses to know, keep that air flowing. Bend that over, let that breathe. So yes, I would say dresses, skirts, stuff like that, cover your shoulders, and you should be golden. Make sure you have really good shoes. Make sure you bring sunscreen, oh my gosh. Make sure you bring sunscreen, make sure you have really good shoes, because you'll be walking a lot, especially if you go to Cairo and the pyramids. It's rocky, like baby, you want to be prepared. And like I was saying before, the Egyptians were so kind and so nice, and they love when you want to learn about their culture. So some tips that I have for you guys is to learn some Arabic. So here are some words that you're gonna need on your trip. I'm gonna get my little paper. First word, la'a. La'a means no. No, 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 no. La'a. La'a, la'a. Someone's trying to sell you something. La'a, you don't want it. If someone's trying to stop you to get in a taxi. La'a, I don't need a taxi. You don't need to say all the other stuff, just say no. If you want to be a little nicer, you can say la'a, shukran. Shukran means thank you. La'a, shukran. No, thank you. Kisses. Ofwan means you're welcome. I mean, the locals eat this up, baby. Trust me. Use some Arabic. Maya means water. Marhaba means hello. So those are a couple of words that you need to just live, because again, you will be harassed. So la'a is your best friend, and marhaba is hello wherever you go. If you're meeting your tour guide, if you're going to a new place, a restaurant, whatever it is, people love it when you include their language or culture and you learn about it. Oh my gosh, if you're in Egypt, you have to make sure that you try their falafels. I tried falafels when I went to Alexandria, and baby, the best falafels I have ever had. And I've been to Lebanon. Shout out to Lebanon, baby. I do love Lebanon. Lebanon's one of my favorite countries. But baby, these falafels, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20, 20 out of 20. So excursions, where should you go when you go to Egypt? I was all over, okay? I went to Cairo, I went to Hurghada, I went to Alexandria, I went down the Nile River, I went to Aswan, I went to Luxor. I went everywhere. If you want cheaper excursions, it's gonna be Cairo. When you get to Hurghada, it's more towards the area, like a beach town, so it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. So you're gonna be paying, you know, your regular prices. When I went to Hurghada and I did my excursion with scuba diving and went to Orange Bay, which I have a video on that, go check that out. Those videos and pictures were $50. That's kind of American. But when I was in Luxor and I did my hot air balloon in Luxor, for those pictures and videos, it was only $15 for the both of us, for two people. So it was giving what I needed to give. If you're looking to go on an excursion, like I said, I went with a tour guide. So I actually had my whole itinerary before I went to Egypt, because I planned it and then they make sure to make it happen. But if you're trying to make it on your own, you can always Google, go to get your guide, and you can find all the excursions on there. I do recommend to get it as early as possible, just so you can have like a built-in what you're trying to do. And if you're like me, I like to plan ahead just so you know what you're doing and how to get there and how to get a ride and all those things. You can also get your excursions via your hotel, so don't forget that. Sometimes they are a little bit more pricey. But here's some of my must-do. Of course, you gotta go to Cairo and you gotta go to the pyramids, okay? I didn't go into the big pyramid because there's like I think it was like $20 and you can go into the pyramid. My tour guide was like, there's not a lot to see in there. the pyramid inside is very humid, it's very muggy, like it's hard to breathe, it's small, like you're gonna be like bent over trying to walk there, and then when you get there it's just like a square, so it's not really worth it. But if you want to do it, do it. I didn't, and I just got to see the pyramids from afar. I also went camel riding at the pyramids, and I went biking. That was amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend. Go take yourself a camel ride and go dirt bike riding with the pyramids in the background. You have to go to Abu Simbel Temple. You have to go to the Luxor Temple. So many temples. So the best way to see all the temples, I truly think, is going down a Nile cruise. They literally stop at all the temples down the Nile. It was a little redundant by the end, just because at the end of the day, the temples all look the same, and a lot of them were built around Ramses II, so they kind of look similar. But if you want to see all of the temples, that's the best way to do it. You definitely have to go to Hurghada. It's a beach town in the Red Sea. Oh my gosh. Okay, when you are in Hurghada, you have to go to Orange Bay. I loved Orange Bay. It was very calm, cool, and collective. If you want a more party vibe, party scene, go to Paradise Island. That's a more party, not so much for kids. Orange Bay is more for kids, more relaxed. You have to go swimming with the dolphins. I did not go swimming with the dolphins because I put riding motorcycles again and riding camels in Hurghada. Skip that, okay? Riding camels in Hurghada, these camels looked like they were about to faint. Like 0 out of 10, baby, 0 out of 10. And riding dirt bikes in Hurghada, 0 out of 10. Like there's just nothing to see, baby, nothing. So make sure you do the riding camels and the dirt bikes all in Cairo. When you get to Hurghada, all beach stuff. All beach stuff. Because I'm totally regretting, I'm like, now I need to do another trip because I need to go swim with these dolphins in the Red Sea. Like, what the fuck am I doing? You have to go to the Valley of the Kings. 10 out of 10. In the Valley of the Kings, even though there's a lot of walking and it's hot as hell, but when you get to the Valley of the Kings, you get to go into the tombs. And these tombs, back in the day, you know, in the pyramids, we believe that the pharaohs, that's where they put the bodies. But people knew that because the pyramids are grand and big and all this stuff. And when people passed away, they would put the pharaohs in these pyramids with their gold and all their fancy and all their precious things. And then a lot of people, when they came and like there were wars and took over Egypt, they stole all those goods, you know? So if you go fast forward to the Valley of the Kings, instead of putting their pharaohs in pyramids, they would put them underground. So it was more dry. And a lot of the painting on the wall is still there. It was amazing. And it's not so like cramped like in the pyramids. There's space to walk. 10 out of 10. I loved it. Where to stay in Egypt? When I went to Alexandria, I stayed in the Hilton Alexandria Cornicle. When I went to Hurghada, I stayed at the Sunrise Holiday Resort, all-inclusive. 10 out of 10. And when I was in Cairo, I stayed at the Nile Tower, which I really liked. But I also stayed at that next to the pyramids Airbnb. I know TikTok's telling you to do it. Baby, don't do it. If you're in Egypt, make sure that you stay at 5-star hotels. Especially if you're coming from America, baby, it's cheap. Like, stay in the 5-star hotels. Because everywhere else, like, they're either, even in the fancier hotels, depending, they'll be smoking outside. There'll be designated areas to smoke and stuff like that. And I personally just didn't have a good experience in my Airbnb. You can go check out my YouTube video about that because, baby, like, I woke up in the middle of the night itchy, like it was dirty, like I had to wear shoes to take a shower. That's how you know the places ain't, don't do it. My friend also stayed at the Four Seasons, which is a little further away from the pyramids, but it's beautiful. Again, it's the Four Seasons, baby, so it's gonna be expensive, a little bit more expensive. I think it was like $500 a night, but beautiful, brand new hotel. She even had a butler, she said. I mean, luxury, baby, luxury. But these are all the tips that I have for you guys when you visit Egypt. I hope you have an amazing time. I hope you guys take all the pictures and learn about all the history that Egypt has to offer. The people are amazing, and I'm so blessed to have gone for my 28th birthday. I will never forget, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.